Hello there. This is your teacher, Brian Yablon. I have never done a video like this, so this is an experiment for me. Yes, I know I'm slow grading things, but I just finished all of the narratives. And I did something that I've never done before. I downloaded them, I printed them out, I scribbled all over them, and then I just made PDF files of them. And so in a few minutes, I'm going to load them into the computer. And when you go to see your grade for your narrative paper, you should be able to click on a file with my scribbles on it. And if I can get the thing to work, I'm also going to leave a voicemail or kind of a video message. But there are a lot of things that I notice again and again and again. So I wanted to make some comments about just about everyone's narratives. First being that if you're happy with it, wonderful. And if you're not happy with it, redo it. Revise it. You can revise it. Good writing really is revising. And I want you to work on it. I want you to improve it until you're happy with it. And you submit it. You still have about a month. Keep on working at it, because whatever your best grade is, that's what you get. So here are my comments having to do with just about everyone's narrative. Okay, you probably heard this before, but try to show, don't tell. It's a lot more, instead of saying, here's a lady and she was screaming, bring her on stage, let her scream. Ah! That's much more interesting. It's much more dynamic. All the essays are in terms of length. All the essays are 5 to 7 pages. If they're works cited, if you need to add sources, then you got to add another page for that. I got things that were half a dozen pages single space, which was wonderful. Although single space is a lot. I got a half a page. I made it 5 to 7 pages so that you could go into some depth, into some detail. In terms of also length, vary your sentences. Make sure that your sentences are varied in length. If they're all short, then your writing sounds choppy. And if they're all really long, then it sounds like, it makes me feel like I lose my breath. Vary the length, vary the structure. Also, make sure that you're using verbs or verb tense that make sense. Don't jump all over the place, past, present, future. Use something consistent. It's easier to tell a story mostly in the past tense. Just make sure that it makes sense. Okay. Oh, also paragraph length. Everybody's got different preferences. I tend to like somewhat shorter paragraphs. If I see a paragraph that's 3/4 of a page or an entire page, I can say, oh, it's scary. Oh my God, it's too long. So better to, I made this a lot. Break apart, separate paragraphs that are really too long. By now you should know how to do MLA formatting. So if you haven't already done it, when you do revise this, please put it in MLA formatting with the margins, the identification, and the headers and all that good stuff. Pay attention to grammar. You can be the most brilliant person on the block, but you have to show mastery of standard English, good textbook grammar, in order to pass. Run your work through a spell checker, a grammar checker. There's a wonderful site called Grammarly.com. It's GRAMMARLY.com, and part of it's free, part of it's costs you some money. But boy, oh boy, it's helpful. One of the things that I found in probably 20% of the students, and this is not unusual, this happens, is that you gave lots of commentary. You explained, oh, I had 24 hours without a phone and it made me think this, that, and the other. And all of that's good, but the assignment is to tell a story. And if you didn't tell a story and all you did was give me comments or insights or explanations, it got a lousy grade. So you have to tell a story. The explanation paper is the second paper. This one was to tell a story. Please revise, add dialogue, add descriptions, settings. Where's this stuff happening? Use sensory language. You should be able to see and smell and hear and taste and touch whatever it is that you're describing. Be detailed. Don't try to describe huge, gigantic things. Don't try to describe a mountain. You can't do it. You could describe a pebble and go into detail, and in that pebble you might actually see parts of the mountain. It's the details that make things interesting and memorable, and it makes you unique. Also watch your narrative perspective. Do not switch between I and we and they and us and you. It's confusing. So whichever this first paper, the narrative, you're supposed to tell your own story. So you should have used first person narrative, I and we and me and my. So if you switched, I marked it up. Now my scribbles on the papers are. I used to think I had good handwriting, but I looked at it and I kind of wondered, gee whiz, what does this say? So as I update these, upload your files, I'm going to try to record something and at least explain what my scribbles mean. Boy oh boy, did this take a long time. Wow. That's to be expected, but gee whiz, it took a long time. So I'm going to put for this week's discussion, I'm going to ask your opinion. What do you think about the feedback that you got? Was the written feedback enough, or was it good? Was the verbal feedback enough? Or should I just write stuff on the computer? Writing stuff on the computer is faster, but not nearly as detailed because of how it works. So I ask what you prefer. I know that I talk a lot faster than I write. I'm sort of inclined to want to just leave the recording next time, because then you get feedback, in a day as opposed to a week and a half. Let me know. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying the class. Email me if you have questions. I'm usually pretty good about that. I will be grading all these other things. By now you should have read the whole book of iRobot, and I will post the other quizzes. The first one took me a long time to grade also. I think I'm going to revise how I ask you the questions, but you should have read it. Our third paper focuses on either the book or the movie, or both. You can compare the two. So I will say bye for now. Let me know if you have any questions, and keep on plugging. You're halfway there. Awesome.